What's going on YouTube? JT's Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC comic book reviews. And in this video, we're going to be talking about Batman Detective Comics, issue number 1056. This one is written by Mariko Tamaki, with the backup written by Matthew Rosenberg, and art by several other people, whose names I'll probably butcher. But yeah, this is part 10 of the Shadows of the Bat storyline, which is, like, we're already on 10 weeks since this thing started. 10 weeks? Has it really been 10 weeks since this event started? Boy, time really does fly by, doesn't it? I mean, we've already gotten the release of the Batman. Just so much stuff has just kind of happened since this thing has, like, come out. It's kind of crazy to think about. But anyways, so like I said, this is the 10th chapter in this particular storyline. Like I said, more of kind of the same. There's some interesting stuff going on with Mayor Nakano's wife and, like, why she's in the tower. She has an interesting conversation with Psycho Pirate. At the end of the previous issue, which I reviewed, was it yesterday? I talked about my complaints about how Scarecrow kind of showed up in this thing. Like, do we really have to deal with this guy again? We just dealt with Fear State, now he's kind of back again. He used the Fair Toxin on Nightwing. Huntress is out there taking down Mr. Freeze, and she's, like, dealing with other things. There's patients in that, like, kind of going crazy. That one patient who disguised herself as Harley Quinn turned out to be the real Harley Quinn undercover, which was one thing that was kind of, like, throwing me off, because that design was just like Harley. So I'm like, if Harley shows up, like, is that just, like I said, like, how was I supposed to be able to distinguish between it? So I thought it was kind of funny that Harley was just undercover the whole time as just someone pretending to be Harley Quinn. How nobody noticed this is just kind of beyond me. But anyway, so Harley comes in there doing her thing. Huntress is doing her thing. Gets into some fights. Harley's there to kind of help. Then Tim Drake shows up. And one moment that kind of irks me right here. So he comes in. He's like, who the hell is that? He's like, Robin. Well, Robin. Like, just pick a fucking name already, Tim. Like, are you Robin? Are you Red Robin? Like, at first it was like, oh, no, I'm Red Robin. Oh, no, I'm Robin. Until he was like, make up your damn mind already. Like, are you Robin or are you somebody else? Can we just get Tim Drake a different name already? I know there's, like, the Batgirls book and they all call them Batgirls, but at least, like, you can distinguish between Batgirl and, like, Spoiler. Like, Stephanie Brown is typically just kind of just in her Spoiler attire. Yes, she was Batgirl at one time, and they're the Batgirls, because they've all been Batgirl at some point, but it's pretty easy to distinguish, like, between the three of them. Like, Tim Drake, give him a new identity already. Like, he really should have been somebody who could have been Red X or something else. Like, give Tim Drake a cool new alias at this point. Like, it's time. Like, it's time already. Like, they had that big storyline in Urban Legends, and they've pretty much done nothing with his character since then. Although, I heard Chip Zdarsky is going to be taking over Batman, and he's going to write Tim Drake as kind of like a Robin in that storyline. So that should be interesting. I think Chip Zdarsky's a good get for DC Comics as the next main Batman writer. So hopefully they do something interesting. And please, for the love of God, Chip Zdarsky, give Tim Drake a new mantle already. Like, it's just, give him something new and a cool new name. You mean to tell me in, what, like 30 years since Tim Drake's been around, since, what, like the 1990s, nobody's been able to come up with a cool new name? Yeah, Red Robin is cool and all, but it's the name of one of my favorite restaurant chains. So, like, give him something different, something cool, something unique that kind of sticks. Red Hood sticks. Nightwing sticks. Give Tim Drake a cool new name. So, yeah, Scarecrow's there. He gets ready, like, all the Bat family members are coming in there. Nightwing is, like, kind of disoriented. He gets chucked out the window. Kate Kane tries to save him. He kind of slips from her fingertips. And then we get a big, huge, heroic surprise. That's right, Batman shows up to kind of save the day for him. On the one hand, it's a cool, big, save-the-day heroic moment to see Batman kind of show up in this thing. But at the same time, I feel like it kind of devalues what the rest of the Bat family was doing, like, this entire storyline. I don't think we needed Batman in this thing. This whole thing was about everyone, like, them working without Batman and trying to solve this big thing. But all of a sudden, it's just like, oh, Batman's coming here to clean everything up. It just, like, it feels kind of cheap to me. I kind of wish they would have kept Batman out of this storyline until after the whole Arkham Tower storyline was wrapped up. Like, it's a mixed bag. Like I said, it's a cool moment, but at the same time, it's like, oh, you mean to tell me that they're all just, like, completely useless without Batman? They had how many different Bat family members in here? Like, they couldn't save Nightwing, but Batman could. Like I said, I just feel like we didn't need Batman in this storyline at all. Like, because, I mean, Batman, I thought he was off going to do some Shadow War stuff, Batman Incorporated things. Why do we need Batman in this particular story when it began with the entire, like, where most of the Bat family doing stuff without Batman. That's kind of what made it interesting, was you're getting Batman, like we're getting a storyline without Batman, focusing on the Bat family. But now you throw Batman in there at the very end, it just kind of devalues it just a little bit for me personally. And on top of that, we get a big cliffhanger type ending where we have Psycho Pirate and Mira Nakano's wife in there. Anna Volshin pulls a trigger and you see blam. So is it Psycho Pirate or Mira Nakano's wife who bit the bullet at the end of it? I guess we're going to have to find out in next week's issue. So there's the final 2 issues coming up. So whatever the case may be, it should be rather interesting. And then kind of in the backup storyline written by Matthew Rosenberg, we see the kid who's kind of grown up a bit now, leading kind of a gang of runaways, and he's just trying to get some food and like stuff for like the different people of Gotham, the forgotten people. He has been kind of interesting. He has justified motivations for like why he's just kind of the way he is. Like, we've understood it. Like, this kid's been treated like shit like his whole life, no matter what he's done. And like I said, he's just trying to help a few people, and he doesn't trust Batman, and understandably so. Like, he's been dealt a real shitty hand. Now, we still don't know his name, which is still kind of interesting how we're 10 chapters into this storyline. We don't even know the main character's name. Even Batman just kind of cuts him a little bit of a break. Huntress is there too. This is, like I said, in the middle of no man's land. And we're still kind of left on an ambiguous note. Like, what's going to happen with this character going forward? I guess I can't call him a kid anymore because he's got his own full-blown beard in that right now. So he's kind of like the leader of this forgotten thing. So we'll see where that goes from here. But that storyline is rather interesting now. I mean, it's the first chapter in this thing where he's just not getting tortured and like dealing with something kind of miserable the entire time. He's kind of like standing up as a big leader here. So I'm really intrigued to see what Rosenberg is doing with it now that we kind of gotten a chapter where he's not getting tortured the entire time. So overall consensus, I did enjoy this issue overall. I do think it has I do have some gripes though. Like I said, I don't think we needed Batman in this storyline. I think it devalues what the rest of the Bat family was doing. Because like you said, you have this whole team doing things the whole time. And then like one character comes in and just saves the day, like who hasn't been in like the other 10 issues at all. Yeah, it's cool to have a surprise character, big hero moment. But I feel like this is a good example of a storyline where we could have just not used Batman at all and just let the rest of the Bat family take care of things. But it just shows that they just can't handle things without Batman. So, like, it just felt kind of dumb to me. Like I said, on the one hand, it's a cool moment. Batman swooping in at the last minute to save someone. But on the other hand, we really could have done this storyline without Batman, considering we started it without Batman. And now at this point, it's like, why does he need to show up at this point? And why do we need to deal with Scarecrow again? Wasn't he in Blackgate last I checked? Did he just get transferred without us realizing it? I don't know anymore. And like, who gave him his costume if that's the case? It just raises too many questions. Hopefully the next 2 issues will answer that. If not, I'm just going to be like, what the hell? So, like I said, I enjoyed it overall, but there's some mixed emotions in certain areas. The backup's getting has been kind of interesting right now, too, so I'm curious to see how that's going to turn out. But anyways, 2 more issues left in the storyline, and I kind of would hope they take a break from Detective Comics, but I guess they're going to go back to the twice-a-month thing, so you're not going to get a break from Detective Comics anytime soon. Well, I mean, we're going to get a few-week break, I would assume. So it's going to be interesting because, like, I'm kind of used to, like, having, like, the weekly event. So I wasn't sure how I was going to adjust to it. But now that's, like, going to be over, it's like, oh, we're going to actually have a little bit of a gap between each issue. So that'll be kind of interesting. So, yeah. But anyways, tell me your thoughts on the issue in the comment section down below. Be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more content, hit the bell for notifications. Be sure to come back tomorrow. I got some more comic book reviews coming up. Just haven't had time to get to them until now. So, yep. All right. Well, that's all I got to say. As always, take care now. Bye-bye then. And I will see you all in the next video. Peace.